Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome back to another episode of Behind the Lens, where we talk to the fighters who will be taking part in CSL 007. And this one is the main event, the biggest pie, the biggest cake on the menu. It, of course, is Justice versus Perry Atkinson. How are you doing, Perry, my friend?
I'm really well, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm very well. Thank you very much for asking. But let's make no bones about this. It's a huge fight. It's a rematch. So much is on the line. The undisputed heavyweight title. How has training camp been for you in the lead up to this rematch?
Training's absolutely going amazing. I've been getting so much more runs in and sparring with a lot bigger heavyweights that prepare me for this. But it's just like there's a lot of stuff coming into this as well. So there's a lot of mental side I've got to prepare myself for. So I've been really working hard on that side of things as well, really. So I'm fully ready. Like I know we're still like over 4 weeks out, but I'm probably in the best shape I've been in the last 2 years. And because of the way Justice is and how good he is, I've had to train hard. So I take nothing away from him. I know he's no easy opponent, but I just believe in myself and I know how good I am. And I know how good I was the last fight. And all I've done is improve from that fight. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Really looking forward to showing everyone that those belts belong to me and not him.
Now, of course, I think we are definitely looking forward to this one for sure. And I want to take a quick step back. I mean, you mentioned obviously that fight when you did fight Justice originally. I mean, you mentioned the mental side of things, preparing yourself for this fight. How did you feel after that fight? Because obviously there was a lot of controversy in that fight. How did you feel coming out of that fight and then going on after that?
I just felt a bit gutted in myself, really. Just like you always have that little bit of like, I wish I did better, or I wish I did this different. But taking nothing away from Justice, you know what I mean? He fought a good fight, and I fought his fight, and that's what happens, unfortunately. So this time round, I'm fighting my fight, and I'm just going to showcase how good I am. But he's a great guy, and I think he's at a top level, and I'm looking forward to sharing the ring with him again. There's nothing but respect for me with Justice. I think he's a great lad, and you know what I mean. The best man to win on the night, and that's what's going to happen.
No, of course. I mean, for boxing historians, people out there, I mean, what Perry's kind of alluding to there is something similar to what Sugar Ray Leonard done when he fought Roberto Duran the first time. He fought Roberto Duran's fight. It didn't work out. The second fight, we all know what happened. No mass. Will we see that this fight? We will see come October the 15th.
Most definitely. Most definitely. I'm coming there fully loaded and fully prepared. So there's nothing's going to stop me from winning those 3 bouts this time.
Of course, yeah. And obviously, after that fight that took place this year, there were other fights you've been taking place. How did they work out for you as well?
I've had a couple of good fights this year. I haven't lost this year yet, so that's good. I've had 3. I've drew 1. I've won 2. So I'm on a good roll at the moment, a very good roll, and my confidence is very high. And you know what I mean? You always improve after every fight. The more the experience you gain, you always improve, and I'm always learning something new in the sport. So I'm really looking forward to the showcase and how much I've improved. I'm looking forward to see how much Justice has improved as well. So I know that's going to be my best game. So we both know what we bring to the ring this time. So it's going to be good how what game plan he has, and he's going to have to figure out my game plan this time as well. So it's all really good and positive.
Of course, and without unveiling too much, because obviously we want to see on the night itself. But has there been anything in particular you've been working on in training camp that you didn't use in the last fight, or it's something that you haven't used in previous fights before this fight?
I've always used it, but not as much. And this time you're going to see how my movement is the superior to everyone else, and that's what's going to win me the fight: my movement and my footwork and speed. And everyone's going to see that on October the 14th.
Of course, and I think that's one thing that people do underestimate when it comes to heavyweights, that movement. They think, oh, everyone's a bit more ploddy, but movement in the heavyweight game, underrated. I mean, we've seen Tyson Fury use that movement being 6'9" and like 260 pounds. So will we see that with Perry Atkinson come October the 14th?
You're going to see everything you need to see and more.
Exactly. And obviously me and you were speaking offline before this as well about future plans. And of course, the main aim and main objective is to beat Justice on October the 14th. But you've got big plans for the rest of the year as well.
Do you want to just tell everyone that? So I've got Justice on October the 14th where I'm going to win all 3 bouts and that. I've got another big fight on November the 11th for another heavyweight title on a different promotion. And hopefully, fingers crossed, if things go ahead how they should, I have another big fight on December the 9th for another title. So my plan is, and it is going to happen because I believe in it, I'm going to end the year with 5 bouts and go into next year with a very big happy smile.
I think that'll be a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year for sure for Perry, because that sounds amazing. 5 belts. And for those of you watching as well, I mean, I've said it before to Perry, but he's putting the current heavyweights to shame, because look how active he is compared to professional fighters who do that for a living. And Perry's doing this because he loves the sport, and this is what it's all about. But are there any sort of final messages you have for Justice when he's watching this?
Not really, really. He already knows. Like, he's a great lad, and I just hope he's training hard because, believe me, you're not getting the same Perry you got in the last fight. You're getting a much more upgraded version, a much better version of myself. So, and that's what I mean. Just hopefully he doesn't underestimate me or take into consideration the last fight, because if he does, that's where he's going to go wrong. But we'll see what happens on the night, and I'm ready. I'm more than ready. So it's going to be good.
He was born ready. And any final messages you have for your fans as well who are watching?
All the support I appreciate. I want a big shout out to my coach Graham, who's really the person who made me believe in me and stuck by me and got to where I am in boxing today. So without him, none of this would be possible either. So I just want a big shout out to him and the gym, Ringside Boxing Care Fitness. They've shown all their support for me as well, and they've backed me for every fight. So yeah, and all the fans that keep showing up to every fight. My fan base has just grown and growing now. So I mean, from last year, my fan base to now, I've just gathered a lot more people, and people are showing a lot more interest in coming to watch me, which wants me to want to achieve more in the sport and want to go further. When you've got the people behind you, though, you know, they're there for you, so you feel like you want to give it back to them as well.
Of course, that is a beautiful thing about the sport of boxing and what Perry brings to the boxing ring. But for you people out there, if you haven't already bought tickets, make sure you buy tickets, speak to Perry, speak to myself, check out Combat Sports League. There's still tickets going. Any other information, make sure to reach out to the respective channels and make sure you are there on October the 14th for the biggest main event of the year on CSL 007. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, peace.
Thank you.